Hey everybody, welcome to Penguin Storytime. I hope you had a great day. Let's take a look at some new stories, shall we? The first story is called Vague Schedule. Some years ago, I worked at a corporate restaurant chain that was floundering. Massive turnover and only managers seemed to last. The new general manager disliked me because I had 10 write-ups in my file, several from a bad chef who was fired. And she clearly wanted me gone. She tried writing me up for being late, despite being 9 minutes early for my shift. So I called the regional manager and got that taken care of. And got the day off, since she already told me to go home. I also demanded my minimum 2 hours pay for coming in and got it. She hated me after that. The only thing keeping me employed there was that I could run the fry station when it was busy, when other cooks needed a second cook. I saved some money. My chef used his own schedule template, cause it's faster and clearer, despite missing a lot of details. For a long time, it just said Monday to Saturday, and not the dates on the page. He didn't even write AM or PM next to the start times. I mean, if it says 4, it's obviously not 4 AM, but 4 PM, right? Well, I was one of the only cooks who would accept late start times like 7 PM or early times like 7 AM. I got a second job that paid well, and I knew I wasn't gonna last long at the corporate place. My starting wage was $2 more at this new gig on day 1. I decided to party my face off and wasn't worried about being late for my 11 o'clock start. I woke up to a phone call at noon from the general manager. "It's 12, where are you? You're scheduled for 11. I thought I started at 11 PM. Why would we schedule a fry cook for an hour after we close? Yeah, I thought it was weird too. Get in here, now. Well, I gotta eat and shower still. Now. So I showed up an hour later with a burrito, grabbed some sriracha and asked if it's straight to the office or should I hop on the line. Office, now. We sat down and I said, "You go first," and proceeded to eat the burrito while she barked at me. Told me I'm fired and done here. Nothing but a problem, and that I'm not gonna go far. I let her just spew while I ate. Even the chef at this point was kind of amused at the scene and how calm I was. As she finished her rant and was staring at me, I told her I understand and it's okay. As I left the office, I shook my chef's hand and thanked him for everything, and then, as I walked out the door, I reminded the manager of one little thing. I expect to be paid the minimum 2 hours wage since you made me come in. I've never seen a manager look so angry. The next story is called Sure, I Will Get You My Manager. About 15 years ago, I was working at a large chain electronics store while I was in university. The hours were flexible and we were paid on commission, so there was an opportunity to make decent money. I was actually pretty good at it and was recognized as one of the top salesmen in my region several times. I was in the mobile audio department, a department that covered car audio, portable stereos, and a brand new product, MP3 players. I remember selling MP3 players with as little as 64 MB of storage, basically enough for one album. It was a simpler time. A time when you would have an MP3 player and a phone. Phones had not yet achieved sentience, text messaging required a ridiculous amount of button pushing, and iPods had hard drives in them. A customer came into my department with her son. She was in the mid-40s, he was late teens. She told me that she was looking for an MP3 player for running. I didn't like selling MP3 players as they were low margin items with low commissions. But it was a slow day, so I was grateful for something to do and to hopefully make a few bucks. I started to show her some of the options that were available that would fit her needs well, including options with armband cases included, expandable memory, and decent headphones. All of the options I presented were flash memory. Hard drives tended to dislike the jarring that accompanied jogging. At this point, her son chimed in. "Mom, you need the 80 GB iPod. Don't listen to this guy." I was immediately taken aback. First of all, she absolutely didn't need the 80 GB iPod. She went for half an hour at a time, and the 1 or 2 GB flash MP3 players I was showing her were much more suitable for her needs and about a quarter of the cost. Secondly, at this point in time, I knew what I was talking about. I had many repeat customers come back to me for my knowledge. of the products, and I prided myself on being able to answer virtually any question about anything in my department. I tried to explain to the mom why this was not a great fit for her needs, but was repeatedly cut off by her irritating son, who obviously expected to get the most use out of the iPod. I decided to cut my losses and opened up the case where the iPods were kept and got one out for them. I walked them over to the till and showed them options for cases and headphones, all of which SmartyPants son said they didn't require. When I arrived at the till, I started to explain the extended warranty to the mom. While most of the time it was a money grab, I'd seen enough of these come back with damaged hard drives or batteries that I actually thought it was worth buying for this product. "Don't even listen to him, Mom. He's just trying to get you to spend more money," the son loudly proclaimed as he held the box in his hand and read the specs. I'm not the most patient man, and at this point, I had no more patience in my internal reserve to call upon. I took the box out of the kid's hand and said, "Are you kidding me?" I was pointing at products that cost hundreds of dollars less than what you are making her buy. And when I suggest something to protect the unnecessary purchase, you claim that I'm trying to get more money out of her? We're done here. You can buy your iPod somewhere else. I locked it back in the case as I stood there with the mouth hanging open. Finally, Mom speaks up. Her first words since we began talking. "I'd like to speak to your manager, please." I half expected this, and at the time, my sales manager was pretty cool. Outside of scheduling, she basically allowed me to run the department. I tried all the new stuff and learned all the new products. I got her from the office and explained the situation to her. She didn't say a word and walked with me to my department, where the mom started complaining about my unprofessional behavior. My manager cut her off, saying, "I'm sorry, but we won't be able to serve you today. I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store immediately." She walked off, leaving me with a bemused grin on my face and the mom and son looking at each other in disbelief. They left the store, complaining the whole way. I thoroughly enjoyed knowing that in that case, the customer was not right. The last story is called "They Won't Perfectly Cut Grass." It's the wet season again, and this wet season has reminded me of the glorious time my old real estate messed up bad because of the wet season. Where I live, in Central Coast Queensland, the wet season is up and down. Sometimes it's dry and other times it floods. I also happen to live in a swampy area, so even a small amount of rain leaves most of the ground soggy. My partner and I had been in the rental for 6 months with the wet season turned on, full force of rain for weeks. I couldn't walk through the backyard because I would sink. The front yard wasn't so bad, thankfully. I was able to somewhat maintain the front lawn, keeping the grass looking good and hedges trimmed. I thought I could leave the backyard and pay for someone to do it once the ground dried up, but the real estate agent didn't like that at all. In my lease, it said that the ground could not be left marked upon exiting the premises, so I didn't even park my car on the grass ever. The real estate agent must have taken a peek and seen the just past ankle-length grass and emailed me furiously about how I needed to trim it. I tried explaining that the ground was too wet and I or anyone else wouldn't be able to push a mower through it. I don't care if you say the ground is wet and you can't push a mower. Hire a ride-on and cut the damn grass. There was some back and forth with me trying to explain the ground and sinking situation, but he was having none. So I booked someone to come do the backyard on a ride-on. As expected, the ride-on left trenches and it completely ruined the grass. I'm not talking little marks through the grass. I'm talking someone could have used the trenches to do a flip on a bike. The grass was squashed. The mud was everywhere. It stunk because everything was unsettled and it was a massive eyesore. There was no way for me to fix it by the time the lease ended because the grass would still look like a mess. I got some photos and sent it through to the real estate agent, letting them know the grass was cut. After one furious phone call with me re-explaining the whole situation, I've never been pushed to mow the grass again while the ground is wet. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Let me know what you think about the stories in the comment section below. Have a great day. Bye bye.